People say overthinking is bad, but what if it isn't always? I'm an overthinker. I overthink everything, whether it's conversations, what I want to have for lunch, what I'm doing that day. Every decision requires a lot of thinking. For example, I'm better at it now, but it used to take me 10 minutes just to figure out what kind of pasta I wanted with my mac and cheese. And frankly, I still think more than a split second about what kind of pasta and what kind of cheese I want to have with my mac and cheese, because there are so many options. You have the typical pasta like Barilla, or I don't know, like the normal pasta brands you see in the store. Then you have the bronze cut dyes, or the bronze die cuts that are nicer but more expensive and have certain tastes in them. You have different shapes that affect the flavor. You have different sauces for your pasta, or you could do cheese and make mac and cheese. But then, what kind of cheese do you want? Because each cheese has a different flavor as well. And you see what I'm saying? Like, it could easily turn into just this mental spiral of suddenly decision paralysis of I'm not sure what to do, so I'm stuck in this overthinking loop. And it's not just pasta, it's everything, but I feel like that's a pretty goofy example of what the process is for an overthinker, of how we want to get things right and think things through, but we end up stuck because of our own incapability to make a decision. So that's the negative side of overthinking, the side that everyone sees when they think of what an overthinker is. But what's the benefit of overthinking? Overthinking, I feel, is kind of a hidden superpower. It has its pros, its flaws, and it's like the superpower that has the negative debuff attached to it, to bring gaming terms into the conversation. See, while everyone sees the negative side of overthinking, as an overthinker, I've noticed that there's actually a lot of benefit to it. For example, when you're being creative and you're doing this, artistic project, you overthink the details of it, and overthinking gives you the ability to really process what it is you're trying to make, or explore all the different outcomes and all the different options available. Overthinking lets you to really analyze a problem, not just artistic, but any problem. It could be math, science, medical. It lets you analyze a problem. And, for example, math, I guess, just to throw it out there since I mentioned it earlier. And you can think through the process and really understand the problem at hand. And overthinking allows you the ability to explore all these different possibilities and outcomes, and why it works, why it doesn't work, and ultimately bring you to the proper solution. Okay, maybe math didn't quite work there. I didn't incorporate math into it, but it's fine. Everything's fine. Overthinking also in relationships, to be a bit more sensitive to the people around you, because you're thinking things through not just from your perspective but from theirs as well. And overthinking lets you see everything from, well, not necessarily every perspective, because the only perspective we can ever truly see is our own, but it allows you to be able to be more sensitive and empathetic to those around you, because you have an idea of the struggles they may be going through, or why maybe they acted a certain way or said this or that, and it allows you to see the situation on a deeper level. Now, again, coming back to relationships, overthinking's a double-edged sword of the very thing that it's useful for can also be its downfall, because it means that we as overthinkers are able to get stuck in our heads a bit more, And so then we find ourselves spiraling, thinking through something too much. That's literally the definition of overthinking, what this video is about. Overthinking causes us to kind of get stuck in this mental loop where we start analyzing the situation so much where we're never able to progress past it until we finally snap out of our heads. You know what I mean. And kind of snap ourselves out of it. But again, that's kind of just one of the potential pitfalls of overthinking. But on the flip side of it, a healthy overthinker is able to stop themselves when they get to that point. But at the same time, it's really easy to get stuck in it. So I don't really have any specific advice to help you, but I guess try to be more mindful and aware of when you find yourselves in that mental loop. And it doesn't have to just be relational, it could be any sort of problem facing, like the mac and cheese example from the beginning of the video. If you find yourself sitting on the kitchen floor for 10 minutes, not sure if you want to go with the Annie's box mac and cheese or you want to go with the Kraft mac and cheese, then at that point you kind of just need to come to a decision of, okay, I'm overthinking this and I can't make a decision, so I'm gonna just grab one now, and it's okay if it's not the one that I ultimately wanted, because I still have this other box of mac and cheese that I can save for another day. And what's important is I need to make a decision, just pick one, even if it's not the one I want, because unless I pick one and move forward in life, I'm never gonna have the mac and cheese. The mac and cheese that I'm dreaming about in my head, and that I'm picturing which taste profile would my tongue most like to taste today. But if I sit on this floor, I'm never going to get up, make the pot of water, boil the water, and make the mac and cheese. I'm just gonna be stuck here. And I think that's applicable to every part of life. What's important is that you made a decision and you accept the consequences of that decision and move on and learn from that decision. So that way, maybe tomorrow, if you want mac and cheese, you know which brand to choose. Overthinking is a tool. It depends on how you use it. It doesn't have to be the thing holding us back, or the thing keeping us in decision paralysis, or stuck in this loop of never moving forward because we are too busy being in our heads. And it doesn't have to be this thing that everyone around you says, stop overthinking. Instead, it can be one of your greatest strengths if you allow it, and if you learn how to listen to it and guide it. You don't have to shut it down, because in a healthy way, that is a part of who you are. You're an analytical person and you like processing through your situations and surroundings. There's nothing wrong with that. There's nothing wrong with thinking and overthinking. But it's when it gets to the point of it never lets you move past the moment is when it becomes a problem. And the point where it becomes a source of stress and anxiety rather than problem solving and solution finding. So basically, just learn how to listen to the overthinking and allow it to guide you without letting it stop you. So yeah, I hope this video helped you from one overthinker to another. Maybe you learned something, or at least it gave you some food for thought. Man, this whole video, it may as well just be titled, Thinking About Mac and Cheese. I really hope this video helped you. I wanted to try something a bit different with a bit of a deeper focus for the content and more of this I don't know, direct conversation between me and you, the viewer or listener, or both, depending on how you're watching this video. Maybe you're making mac and cheese and I'm sitting on the stove. I don't know. Or it's 2 a.m. and you're in bed and watching me while you're trying to go to sleep. If so, I hope you have a good night and hope that this video is able to help ease your mind to stop the overthinking and get some peaceful rest, so that when you wake up, you can have healthy overthinking. Yeah, I hope you all have a great day, and I'll see y'all next time. Peace.